I didn't know I was even in. Welcome. Can you guys hear me without my headset on, or should I hook it in? I just realized I'm using the computer audio. Uh, Dawn, can you let me know if you can hear me? Hopefully she'll let me know. Dawn, can you hear
I can
me
hear
okay?
you.
Oh,
Yes.
great. Okay. Who knew? I don't even need the headset. So welcome to Meatless Monday. I guess I'll be editing that first section out there that I was fiddling around trying to get up and get the water over there and everything. So, how is everyone? And how is my beautiful co-host Dawn James, also from J&J Video Reacts? She is vegan. She is now raw with me, and she has a excellent channel that she puts great content on called J&J Video Reacts. Please check that out. So,
I am awesome. I feel fantastic. I feel great. I'm now my third day in being completely raw and doing a lot of fasting. Today, I'm excited because I started back working out. I've been telling you that I've been feeling like a slacker because I haven't been working out. So you brought up a good point a little while ago. It's probably me eating raw for the past few days that has gotten me re-motivated and energized to do that. So I want to thank you for always inspiring me to be my best self. And yeah, going raw was it. And eating mostly fruit, you know. So yeah, it's got me motivated. I feel good after my workout and yoga session that I haven't had in a while. So yeah, I feel good.
that is great. And I think that's one of the things we don't realize with how important our food is. We always think about it, oh, I've lost weight, or I've, had great, success, and some of my aches and pains will go away, and my diabetes might go away, and my chronic illness you can heal. But what we forget is just something as simple as our mind, our mood, our vibrational energy, how much we can accomplish. The energy part of this is, if you're vegan already, you do have a higher energy level. There's no doubt about it, no matter which way of vegan I eat, because technically I'm not putting the toxins of meat and dairy into my system. I'm already going to be at a higher level. But when you go raw, because what you're putting in your body is living foods, is literally, and that's, I'm going to get to this later. I've been throwing this word around every day, not fruitarian, but frugivore. I learned a new word, so I'm so excited to talk about it. However, I think we
Yeah,
don't
you got to
realize
explain the difference to me.
those kind of benefits, that we just, in the little simple things, like if you don't get a lot done or you sleep in, you will be up. Like sometimes it goes like almost in effect the other way with me, is that I don't sleep as much as I want to because I'm already up, and
Right, right.
like I should be tired. I need to get to sleep because I didn't get my full, I'm a big 7, 8 hour person, sometimes 6, and I'm like 5 and 4 is just not my thing. But
I'm not cutting
you can't you
it.
can't do anything with energy. When you're ready to go, your body will tell you. So the thing with me is, today, or not today, but Sunday was 1 full month of being raw. And for those of you who know my whole story, or if you're new here, just in case, I went raw vegan in 2019 when we watched a video that Dawn here happened to bring to my attention called Raw, who, she was getting into growing microgreens and was looking into a bunch of things about living food. And we came across this documentary on YouTube, which is why I'm really passionate to share information on YouTube, because this is where I'm like, are we starting over?
Hey, Restream is glitching. Are you there?
Yeah,
Restream is glitching. You see how that picture is there?
yeah.
I just clicked on that, but it played the video instead.
Oh, that's weird. Well,
And I
thank you
clicked
for.
the picture. Yeah, just to support you when you were talking about going raw for a month. I'm like, let me put the thumbnail up, and the video started playing.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah. So
Well,
sorry
thank you
about
for
that.
trying. Well, I was just saying that, because we found this information on YouTube and I find so much information throughout my journey, that's why I'm really passionate to like share this information on YouTube, because someone may come across it and change their life like it did mine. So in 2019, I saw this documentary. It had Woody Harrelson in it, which is like, the guy from Cheers, and he was talking about how much energy he has. And there were people talking about they've healed cancer and diabetes, type 2 diabetes, all kinds of things on there. And I was like, what is going on with this? I've never heard of this raw thing before. You mean people just eat raw food, raw fruits and vegetables, and that's it? And so I went raw, and within a month, I had eliminated. Well, first I lost over about a 5 6 month period. I lost over 50 pounds until now, since 2019. Even through different phases of being raw, being whole food, plant based, doing some processed food, unfortunately. I have been through these phases and I've always kept the weight off. I may have fluctuated up and down a couple of pounds here. I think 125 was the highest I've ever been to since I came way down to like 115. So, like, and for me, I was a heavier person, usually not like as a kid. But when I got to my 30s, I went from my normal, or actually my early 20s, I went up to like 170 pounds. And I had gone way down. I had been on these diets that had put me up and down, like, but I could never hold on to anything or sustain it. And I figured out it's because I was eating meat. But I've actually kept it off for 4 years now. And that's kind of, if you're in the dieting range of world like I was, that's unheard of, to keep weight off and not have to work on a diet every week. It just becomes like a lifestyle when you eliminate the meat and dairy, that you just automatically get to your optimal weight. And then, so after 6 months, speaking of that, or after about a month, I realized that year, it was like usually my allergies would get really bad in May. I had no allergies that year or since then. I've had seasonal allergies since a really young child, and it was just weird. I'm like, I don't get the watery eyes, I don't get the nose. It turned out it was dairy that was causing different things to happen like that. A lot of mucus and colds in the winter. Haven't had a cold. Haven't been sick, like any flu or anything, neither one of us really, in many years since we've been doing vegan. And then what ended up happening was I actually also had like chronic back pain that went away after, like, I guess maybe 2 months. I started to notice some part of it might have had to do with the weight loss, but even when I was thinner, it would still really be terrible back pain, because my I think one of the doctors said my vertebrae or whatever it is like, just curved a little bit. So it was pulling the muscles. But I guess that must not have been exactly why, because I don't have that pain anymore now that I went, raw vegan. And then, I've remained vegan for 4 years. And the cool thing about it was, the only reason I knew there was benefits in raw food, but
Hmm.
the only reason I started eating cooked food is because I couldn't figure out how to maintain my weight on the raw diet. Like, and the problem I realize now is I wasn't eating a lot of fruit. I was eating mostly vegetables, which really have no calories in them, really. So, I was eating some nuts, but not that many, because I was thinking the whole time in my mindset that I couldn't eat that much, because I was just used to that our whole life. I was eating
Yeah.
once a day and not eat. I mean, it was a big salad, but it was one salad. So I kept reducing my weight, and I really didn't want. I wanted to like pick up a little to feel comfortable, and I certainly didn't want to continue to lose weight. My family already thought I was dying, right? But the thing was, I started adding in rice and beans and cooked food, and I still like stayed about 80 to 90% raw because I still had that salad every night. I was just adding cooked food in, and then we went through a phase where, by the way, the link is will be in this video. Vegan Knowledge. It's a Facebook group that I have. If you want to get some helpful information and reach out, and you can chat with me and other vegans and Dawn and see, if you need help or you want, to follow my journey. And we post like helpful links and information there. But I started to say, um, at that point, when I learned what happened to animals and everything, it was about diet to begin with, but it was just my goal then to tell people you shouldn't be eating this stuff. It's causing type 2 diabetes, it's causing high cholesterol, heart disease, cancer, it's causing it's a toxic, it's a carcinogen. I realized meat. So I was just like, whatever I can do to get people off meat. So I was like, I'm going to try these plant based products. And trust me, I didn't stop eating them because they're not good. Like Hellman's vegan mayo is delicious. The Beyond Meat. I love what they do to help people that may not really care about as much about health, and just they want to save animals and help the environment too. You can eat those things or you can eat them in moderation, but for me, what I realized, and the longer I got into this, the more I realized that processed food is not good for us. Like, and most recently, I had went all whole food, plant based. Then we had the minister of wellness on, and I was listening to a lot of his stuff, and he said we're supposed to eat, according to our diet and how our body processes things. Fruits are the easiest thing for us to digest, and that they require less insulin to let the fruit and the fructose into the cells than even vegetables or anything else. And I'm like, this is weird. We've kind of always been told eat vegetables and keep your fruit in moderation, especially on lots of diets I was on, because they're high in sugar and this and that, and I had no idea that there was a difference between sugar and like processed sugar, table sugar, and what was in fruit. Like I kind of knew there was a difference of a natural sugar, but I had no idea like the major difference that our body needs that glucose, and we need carbohydrates from fruit to be able to really thrive. And I heard something very recent that actually I was about 2 weeks into my raw journey again, and I realized also something the minister said. I'll say that he said the cellulose on the outside of plants, they're not really as eager to be eaten like fruit is. That's why they're green and they're harder for our system to break down. And it really, he even recommends juicing the greens if you're going to do it, and eating your fruit for the fiber and everything. And I really I disputed that at first in my mind. I was like, no, no, no. I know what I'm doing. I've been raw before. I know I'm supposed to eat lots of vegetables.
Now you're re-raw.
And now I'm like, I had to think about it. I didn't know anything was wrong with meat and dairy for 42 years. So who am I? I'm going to go in, I'm going to do the research, I'm going to look at studies, I'm going to find people that eat mostly fruit. I am going to delve into this. And in doing that, I found a guy on YouTube who said, we are the only species, and I'll try to link his videos in the description. I can't think of his name right now, but we are the only species that does not eat our food in its natural state, meaning it whether you are a cow. They don't go down to the ground and look for, let me get some dressing on this, or let me like steam this grass up. They don't, a carnivore, even a tiger, doesn't leap after his prey, tear it apart, start
And
eating
then
it,
throw it on the grill.
and then say, you know what, this could use some seasonal, and I'm going to pop this on the grill, maybe put a little Old Bay on this, like, birds and fish. They don't, manipulate their food. The only species that has done that is humans, and we are also the only species that has deadly diseases and spend millions of dollars on healthcare every year for people to still continue to die of the same stuff. In the wild, you don't see overweight animals. You don't see primates and things dying of the same things that we do. You don't see lions, tigers, and bears, oh my, and elephants going through what we go through with these different. You don't see them overweight.
Well, I mean, animals can get cancer, but I'm thinking that the ones that do, because we lost our cat to cancer, but I'm thinking that when they eat things that are similar to what we eat that aren't good for us, that it's the same effect.
That's what
You
I'm
know what I
saying.
mean?
Not
Yeah,
domesticated animals. They're just in the
yeah.
healthcare system like we are. Come let us check your cat out and see what's going on.
Vet bills
But
are higher than any hospital bills you can name.
we're looking at processed food that we feed our animals, even. Look at that. That's not what they would eat in the wild. A cat might really naturally go after a mouse. We don't have raw mice in those bowls. We have like these morsels of food. I mean, we're doing the best we can, but if you think about it, they're eating something completely different and manipulated than what they would normally eat in the wild. I've heard of people feeding them more of a natural diet, and I'm sure that's going to get more popular as
Yeah.
this information gets out. But
They have a
seriously,
lot of pet foods that are
they're
starting to
overweight.
incorporate like whole foods in them.
Yes, we've got like fat cats, you know. You don't go out and ever see that deer is really looking chunky. He's out there, he's running around, he's doing what he's supposed to, and he's eating what he's supposed to in its natural state. So I'm like, what is our natural diet? Because it's all over the place. I've been preaching that we're herbivores, and the guy said we're not herbivores, and I'm going to prove this wrong. And I'm like, everything I thought I knew, I'm this expert, I'm helping people with their health over here, and like thinking I know everything. And I've been, vegan for 4 years, and it's whole food, plant based. And not that that's wrong, but it depends like how you want to look at natural. Whole foods are the way. Like if you steam some broccoli, I'm not hating on it. But my thing is, what is our natural diet? And I heard the word frugivore. And I didn't load these help you or send these pictures to you. I meant to today to load in, but there is a comparison chart, and I didn't even know that cows and animals that's heads tend to face down towards the ground, like you know um cows and different animals that and horses, they are herbivores. And so I didn't know that most of them have multiple stomachs, at least two, that they chew their food, they chew the roughage, they regurgitate it, and then chew it again, and it goes to a second stomach. And I got to research this a little bit more, but it made sense. Okay, this is starting to add up that our body doesn't digest the cellulose on plants as easily. And I mean, we some people say, "Oh, I can't even eat raw vegetables because it doesn't agree with me."
I tell you what, I don't appreciate you giving me that visual yet again
Of the
of a horse
regurgitation.
throwing up in their mouth and
We
re-eating
were
that.
taking a
I'm like,
walk,
ah.
and I told her that, and I'm so sorry. I'm like, at least we weren't eating, right, when I said it. But if you think about it, that does take a while. It doesn't. And so basically, a frugivore has a diet that is 90% fruit, and it does include some vegetables, nuts, and seeds. So if they're hungry and they're out in the wild, they're going to eat a couple of leaves off a tree. But it's mostly, and I thought about it, and it's like that's what our body craves. Look how badly we crave sugar in this society, that we get it from other sources. But the main thing is, if you look at a fruit, it's already ready to eat. You don't have to do anything to it. You don't have to manipulate it in any way. You don't want to drown it in dressing like most of us do when we eat lettuce and spinach and things. And it's the fastest thing that digests. It makes our body work the least. It uses less insulin, which means our pancreas doesn't have to work as hard to produce it to get into our muscle and liver cells. It's colorful, which means as humans we are meant to see color because it tells us when this fruit is good and ripe and ready to eat. When it's still green, it blends in with the tree. The bananas are yellow and they stand out, and we get to them. And then I started learning about this, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I can still, do my salad at night if I want to get those nutrients that is already in my mind, or I can do all fruit. That's why fruitarians are thriving. And that's why people that, and next week, I'm so excited. We're going to have Mary Jones on, who I met through the Minister of Wellness. He was coaching her, and she came on his stream and watched his videos, and has healed her rheumatoid arthritis. I mean, for many many years she has suffered with this. Couldn't barely get out of bed to walk, and now she's not only walking after a few months of doing this, but has, for the first time today, I watched his motivational Monday, has gone to the physical therapy, and she's going to start doing some resistance training and weights. And I'm going to connect her over with Angela too. And now that she's doing interviews, and she's started a senior wellness group, she may need some vegan empowerment from Mariquita too, right? Like
There you
to
go.
start her channel. So it's just it is a really like a blessing to meet people who are healing themselves. And she just did a all fruit diet, and that's how she got to this. I'm not sure if she was having some um, juicing her greens too, as he recommends sometimes, but whatever she did, we're going to hear about it next week. I don't want to ruin this story. So let me tell you about what happened to me this time, in the difference from when I've been a month now. And this time, instead of doing all vegetables like my last raw journey, I'm doing mostly fruit and some vegetables, like very little. I mean, little, like a little bit of spinach and lettuce. I think I did last night, with lots of, and fruit can be cucumbers, can be tomatoes. I even found out, I didn't know, have any clue that olives and corn are even considered a fruit, according to the definition. So, but mostly the good fruits to have are watermelon, cantaloupe. They're so cleansing. You can do. We've been doing a lot of cherries. You can do berries, blueberries. I love bananas. I have a banana every single lunch. That is my thing. That is the I can you can eat two or three or five or six of them if you want. Like, you can do as much fruit as you want. Now, like I always make the disclosure, it is the way that you can heal yourself. If you're dealing with certain ailments and you're taking medication, I do want to say, make sure you tell your doctor if you're going to start a raw diet. And if you want to go, you can just incorporate more raw food. If you are already diabetic and on medication, start trying to incorporate more salads and fruit into your diet. You don't have to go all fruit for a week, because you may end up like you're going to heal yourself, guaranteed. So while you're transitioning, you have to tell your doctor to monitor your medication, because if you start healing this type 2 diabetes naturally, and you end up then like your sugar is going to just get lower, even though because you're not putting the fat in, which is causing the insulin resistance. If you want to know more about that, I'll link the video that I did on why you can reverse type 2 diabetes. And when you stop putting all that fat into your muscle and liver cells, which is where the fat particles go, your insulin can't let those sugars in, whether they're natural sugars or whether you eat a cookie, whether you eat a banana, whether you eat pineapple, which is really good too, whether you eat, did I say banana? You can tell I love those grapes. We've just got some green grapes, and we were really excited because we forgot we put them on the order. So, and this big watermelon. I'm so excited to eat, if you can't tell. Um, and I've also splurged when it was, what was it? I want to say Memorial Day, 4th of July. I had a sushi roll, avocado roll without rice. You can actually get it that way. So it's like, what do I eat out? It's just seaweed wrapped in, with avocado. You can get cucumber. They have rolls with all kinds of vegetables in them that you can get. But and this, for me, what happened after a month is I just, like, even after a couple of days, when you eat all fruit, you feel on this different vibration, like, or mostly fruit, like I've been doing, which is what the frugivore, it is, so I felt okay, because I'm like, I didn't say I was fruitarian, I said, or even they sometimes incorporate other things, but no cooked food. I'm completely raw, and I'm considering maybe doing all fruit, um at some point too. But right now I'm still on that, maybe like 5%, I guess, at 5-6% of, I do have some greens, and I might start juicing them, like is recommended, to even help my body get through that even more if I want the nutrients from them. So vegetables and fruits are all healthy, but I'm talking about the optimal diet that your body literally was meant to eat, because this is where I was going with it. I'm so excited about this. I lost track of where I was. If you look at the digestive tract of a herbivore and a frugivore, it's very similar. You do have the longer intestine. You have similar digestive tract, meaning that it extracts the nutrients and goes into your body that way. It has the same type of acid that can break down fruits and vegetables, because part of their diet would have been that. But what it's best designed for is the alkaline foods that are fruits. Now, this is also the thing. I looked at the structure of the mouth. You can see the differences. The frugivore literally looks just like us, and has those like smaller pointy canines, whereas you can tell, with a cow, how they chew all the time, and I never realized why they were doing that. We were joking last week about grazing and things, but that's why they are sometimes re-chewing the same food. And so we don't have two stomachs. The frugivore has the one single stomach. We're not a carnivore, because their digestive system, they have a really strong acid in their body that's meant to break down raw meat. They wouldn't cook their meat, and even when we cook it, we don't sometimes have that proper digestive, we don't all the time, let me say, not sometimes, we don't have that acidity that is needed to break down meat. They have a very short intestine, which means their digestive tract, it needs to get in there and get out so it doesn't sit and rot. Because when you eat meat, that's what happens. Like, it's literally sitting in your body. When you're eating fruit, you're cleaning yourself out. You are giving your body the thing that it needs, that it wants. You're going to maintain your weight because it has carbs. You're going to have your fruit fix, because you can eat really sweet fruit, or you can eat cucumbers, whatever you're in the mood for. You have different ranges of fruits. They're easy to chew. If you have a hard time with teeth issues, you can chew them easily. You don't have to spend time cooking. It's so easy to get your meal together. Oh, it's lunchtime. I can run. I work from home, so I can run to the kitchen and literally grab the tub of watermelon. I don't have to go buy a bunch of stuff and go in there and heat something or cook it. And it really does, like, kill the nutrients when you cook food. And you wouldn't even want to cook fruit. I mean, what fruit do we even cook? Maybe some of them. I'm sure if I someone will correct me in the comments. However, like, I think it was very interesting when I looked at carnivore. I looked at omnivore, which is pretty much very similar to the carnivore, which means they have a diet where it consists of meat, and they also eat some roughage and out in the wild, and some fruit. So, but that doesn't look like ours, and the teeth of omnivores don't look like ours. A carnivore, you don't look at an animal on the side of the road and say, "Oh my gosh, is that a possum? I can't. I got to go get that." Dawn, hold on. Can you? I'm gonna pull over it. Do we have room here? I got to go attack that animal and want to dig into it and sink my teeth into it. But if we saw a field full of like berries, or if we saw a banana tree, of course we're going to be like, oh, we got to get some of those, you know? So there are different fruits that can do different types of healing. I recommend going to the Minister of Wellness page. He's got something for each disease and what the best, he even takes it to another level. But I've met so many people. Last week we interviewed Kartika that has healed herself of lots of things that were going on. So many people are healing with the fruits. We're gonna Buddha 1000. Welcome. I thought you forgot us this week. I'm so happy you're here. Thank you for joining. I'm not sure what happened to my co-host. Probably I was running my mouth too much. And I know she's working on a lot of things, so I appreciate her being here because tomorrow is her live stream. But it was just like unbelievable what I've been learning just in the last week, that you know and it's always good to keep an open mind. And I was just talking about that with our number one moderator over here, our Buddha 1000. She did fruit for a week, and like just how she had to open her mind to all this, like,
Hey Buddha, what's up, girl?
and Kartika, her coach told her to try raw. If she hadn't done it, me, if I hadn't watched that video, you're just like, you're on a different energy level, a different vibration, and you get a lot of stuff done. You have energy. And Dawn, like, was watching me do this because she was still whole food plant based, and she still ate a lot of salads. Like, she would, go raw with me sometimes. We do it for a couple of days. Over the last 4 years, I did it for a long period of time, but I was still eating rice and beans at night. But when she saw, like, literally, I remember the day when I was like, I feel like I'm on a different, like, vibration. I remember you're like, I think I might go raw again too.
Yeah, yeah,
And
I was definitely, it definitely inspired me to do that.
we go through a motivation that we do with each other, and I want to have you talk about your experience just in a couple of days in a second. But when she works out, and that's where I can't seem to get in the, I'll do some walks sometimes, but I can't seem to get in a routine. But she motivates me to want to work out, you know what I mean, because she's so consistent with it, and if she has something happen, like maybe pulls a muscle in her knee or something, it will drive her crazy that she can't get on there. Just like how it drives me crazy when I'm not, I realized I'm where I belong. I'm supposed to be raw. I believe in it. And now I know, like, truly, not like, oh, you can eat this way, you can eat this way. The optimal way that I feel like I need to do is the is raw vegan, mostly fruits. Like, I think I'm sold on that, and I respect how everyone eats. And I'm happy if you just eat beyond meat and save the animals. Trust me, if you want to do whole food plant based, I can help you do that. However, we're willing to meet everybody where they are, but really, ultimately, at least, even if you do cleanses of raw fruits, it's really good to clean your system, and it will heal you. And like raw fruits, vegetables that you like. So tell us about your experience. What were you eating before, and like how do you feel now, just after a couple of days? Again, I know you've done it before, but this time, what is different about the mostly fruits?
I mean, it just is giving me a lot of energy, you know what I mean? And it just makes me feel lighter,
Hmm.
and like I said, I've been slacking off on the working out because I had a couple of injuries to, like, one, my left knee, and then my right knee started hurting, and then so I figured, well, maybe I was pushing myself too hard, and then I got lazy after a while, and normally I would get back on the horse, which I'm a workout person. So all it takes is one workout to get me right back into it. And then I don't stop for months, and I may take a break for a little bit. But yeah, I worked out today for the first time in a little bit, and it felt great. Nothing hurts. I did yoga afterwards. I stretched out, and I feel absolutely wonderful because working out's good for you mentally as well. So if your mind is right and you're adding a raw vegan diet on top of it, oh man, you're talking about optimal health right there. That's the ultimate. Your
Yeah.
mind, your body, and then that brings in the spiritual thing, the soul. You just overall well-being feels great because your mind is right and your body's right. So it all comes together and work on one accord, you know? So I feel happy. I feel good. And I tell you what, you know, and I know you did the fruit thing the other week, Buddha. Eating mostly fruit, I mean, it feels good. You know, I'm in a great mood. I just feel so much lighter, you
And
know, that I'm not eating as much salt and stuff on it. Cause I put salt, a lot of salt, pepper, and, you know, a decent amount of dressing on my salad, like the vinaigrette. But with fruit, you're not putting anything on there. You're just eating it.
we had some olives in the house that when she had that salt craving, you were able to eat a couple of those because
And
technically
you said they're fruit? I didn't know they were fruit.
yeah, I didn't know that either. I'm finding out that different things are fruit, and next time I'll have the true definition, but it has to do with the plant that it comes from, and apparently even the way that fruits have seeds in them, and like when animals eat that or frugivores, we eat the fruit and the seeds are like kind of given back to the environment of that, basically because the roughage is there for some animals, but it's there to provide oxygen, and it grows so that it doesn't, sometimes need to be manipulated, and the fruit actually was is grown and meant for us to eat, and when it's ripe, even, it like is it gets soft, it gets juicy. So like we're the also I forgot about the animals with the thumbs. In order to peel open an orange or a banana, you need to have the type of hands. A cow is not going to be able to peel a banana. I mean, you could probably train it the way these people, the poor things are manipulated in circuses and stuff, and that's a whole nother story. But like, you know, but the thing is that even everything about us that we don't, crave raw meat, we can't. That's why we have all the acid reflux, IBS, indigestion. You can name any disease that there is. It starts in the gut, basically, I'm learning. And there's just so much information out there. I have some guests lined up that are really knowledgeable on this, but it is something else that we've heard this now, not only from me, we've heard it from Dawn, Buddha has done the fruits. Our listener here, if you want, check out her live stream. I also did a little small video, just cutting out parts of it for like, I think it's like 10 or 15 minutes, putting together her journey. Kartika, I hope I'm saying her name right. I feel like every week I forget someone's name pronunciation, and then Mary, you know.
Did you say
So
our listener?
yes,
Who?
Buddha.
Oh,
What? Well, our moderator.
huh?
Our moderator. What did
No,
you?
you said our listener, and then you said I put together a video for her. I'm like, huh?
Yeah, you saw it. Remember, I showed it to you. It was like little cuts of everything. Had us talking and her. It's on my
Right,
page.
dude, that
She
was a
commented
really
under.
good video. Hopefully, Booty, you got a chance to check that out. That was a really good
Yes,
video.
she commented. I put it on TikTok and on this video, on YouTube, on this video, on this channel, because I was really excited that we actually had someone listen, take what we said, who's traditionally doesn't eat obviously all fruit. She tries to eat healthy, wasn't even vegan, and decided to do this fruit for a
And did
week
it.
and
I
did
tell you
it.
what, that
It takes
inspired me to get into the fruit really heavy too. I'm like, if Buddha can do it and we preach it all the time, then I can definitely do it. You know what I mean? And that also inspired me, you know, on top of Jen going raw and staying raw again twice, you know.
I'm proud of her and I'm proud of
Yeah, that
you. It takes discipline.
it does. It really does.
And that's the thing. You'll probably even, if you're coming from a vegan diet, but you even felt a little bit of that. I'm coming from a almost all raw vegan diet, and I felt detox a little bit on like, not in the beginning, but like just like maybe last week. you start to clean out. Like you might even start to feel like, wait, does do I not feel right or something? Or some people, they start to have stuff like pimples come out of their skin because the toxins are coming out. But when you go through those little detox symptoms right where you think you don't want to continue, that's when you have to stick with it, because that means your body is getting over that hump of healing, and like it's starting to be like, people, that's when they stop doing good things for them. Like when it gets hard, like if you're working out, same thing, your muscles are going to hurt at first. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm feeling great. When you first work out, after a while you're going to feel a little bit of aches and pains, but in your mind when that happens, like, yeah, I'm getting stronger, or I must be getting in shape, because you feel
And see,
that ache.
today my body was like, yes, thank you. No, I'm not even going to put you through that because I'm just glad that you're back doing this.
Yes. And you're already used to, you do yoga and things still, even when you're not like full on
Yeah, when
working.
I get into working out, I work out for long spans of time. You know how people will get into it for a couple of weeks and then it's back to not do. When it's like a year. I will work out for
Right.
like a year straight. You know what I mean? If I
Yes.
fall off for a month or two, I've trust me, I've already put in a year of like working out straight. So it's not even like I do it for a couple of weeks and then I fall off. It's like once I get into it, I'm into it. I miss it when I don't. I really, really do. I love working out.
And you'll notice it will like discipline you for other things, because you have to think about what is your
Yes, it does.
motivation. If you're on like a bunch of medication and you don't feel good and you're always tired and you don't really even perform your job, or you're not, maybe you're not, you don't feel like you do enough exercise, or whatever the case is, whatever you're like involved in other parts of your life, it starts with what you're putting in. Like literally, you are what you eat. So when you put stuff in that's gives you energy and gives you carbs that make you, that gives you good mood and levels your sugars and lowers your blood pressure, and give it what it needs, your body is like, I'm ready to go for you now. I'm ready to, let's get our
Yeah.
work done. You'll even feel more
It's
like,
like, thank you. Let me perform for you now.
more compassionate, right? You'll have like a better, you're coming from a place of love a lot more. I don't know, like that I knew that how much not eating meat and dairy could do. That's whether you're vegan, but when you're raw, it's a higher level. And I hear a lot of people like talk about that it really does affect all areas of your life. If I just would say try it, because and those for those that say I can't eat raw food, you can really. It's because of what else you're putting in that you're not able to introduce it into your diet, because you're just detoxing when you do eat it. Start with getting fruit for lunch and doing it. If you're someone that doesn't really like a lot of vegetables, that's a good thing, because you can eat these really cool sweet fruits. And another thing I was going to say is, don't, like, I don't know, you have to clear the other stuff out. You know what I mean? Like in order to start liking the new thing. Like if
Yeah.
you're still sometimes like eating a steak and then you try to eat an orange, or like, hey, I'm going to eat a banana, like you're never going to be like, "Oh, that banana looks good." Like that's why I just went, I know they say, I'm not going to use that word cold turkey, but that's the word. I'm like vegan. I don't know, cold carrot, or what did I hear? Oh no, it was chop two carrots with one knife. I heard on my was we did it on my group thing, Vegan
Right.
Voices, which is really
Instead of the
cool.
whole bird thing.
Yeah, instead of killing those birds with stones, we're gonna chop two carrots with one knife. I forget who said it, but I was so excited because I want to learn like an alternate phrase, because you don't realize how you're even being mean to animals and how we talk. Like
Hey, cold tofurkey.
running around like, cold tofurkey, right? Let's start
There
cold tofurkey, which is,
you
if
go.
you are eating processed meat, is a good one to eat, right? And like you'll see that my journey has changed over time. Because we were recommending that, like Dawn said, and as I learn, I give this information to you. As we learn and we go on our own journey, we give the information.
Yeah, dude, when Meatless Monday first started, we were really pushing a lot of the processed food hard. You know what I mean? And in the video, even in the poem video. It's like you can
Mhm.
replace meat and dairy, and I've got like Beyond Meat and like four different things that are processed. And not that that's completely wrong, but you don't want to. We were getting to a point where that's all we were eating.
Mhm.
And it's like, okay, great, we can have stuff that tastes like pizza and burgers and stuff. And then we realized, wait a minute, we've become junk food vegans
Yeah, we had it right from the beginning when we went raw, and we
when we were
went
doing it
the other
raw,
way. We
right?
didn't even transition with that stuff. Which, if you have a family or a barbecue or something that you need to have, you definitely can use these products. I mean, being vegan is better than eating meat. You're not putting the meat toxin. But if you want to have optimal health and you want to eat what your body really wants, all that stuff is not good. Whatever they put in this stuff, anything that I can't pronounce and things, I'm like, that's just manipulated. It doesn't make sense. That's not food to me anymore. And it will become that way to you, just like steak is not food because it looks like something poison and toxic. It's just the same now with the processed stuff and red dye number 2 and 3 and xylitol or whatever and all this craziness. Like, I'm like, even with supplements, I'm getting really leery with what we can and can't take. You have to make sure it's vegan, make sure, when we take the B12 and things. And also make sure you supplement with B12 in the beginning, although I'm hearing that there are other ways you can get the B12, like sea vegetables. I mean, I knew that part, but some people claim that they don't take it. I still think that our body needs it because if you're in an area where like there's no pesticide and you're getting food right out of the soil and you don't wash it really good, yeah, then technically you have that bacteria of B12. But most of us live and get our stuff from the grocery store or produce stands where they probably have pesticide and then they have to clean it, or you should be cleaning your fruit really good. Like, don't leave it dirty just to get the B12 because you might be getting some kind of asabosaphane or whatever they put on it to sanitize it, or not even sanitize it, but like the pesticides. And I mean, there's so many things that are already done to food that if we can buy organic and we wash it, that's the best we can do. And that's why for now I'm supplementing the B12, although I'd love to eat sushi every single day. That way I get that seaweed in. We'll see if John can put that in the budget for me. Just kidding. Buddha said, "Oh, I wanted to tell y'all. I can tell I'm starting to slim down because my waistline is slimming. I gotta get the scale just because I'm curious." All right,
Yeah, I know that's right.
that
Way
is
to
really
go, Buddha.
cool.
Yeah, it'll
I,
happen.
yeah,
It'll
it,
start falling right off you.
that's like the bonus thing that happens. Like we
And
were,
then if you're drinking a lot of water with it on top of that, oh yeah, it'll start coming off without you even having to work out. It'll just start falling right off.
yeah. And like for me, I want to start working out just to keep my, to
You want
keep
to
my
keep your muscle mass,
muscles
you
up
know?
and the adrenaline. If I'm already here, this on a high from fruit, I mean, imagine if I go up here and get those endorphins going more than I do. I'm like, you've been telling me, and I want to start meditating, doing yoga, and I really want to like better myself. But I feel like it had to start with me being raw and natural and making sure that I felt now at home, like where I'm supposed to be eating. I have this firm belief in it that this is what my body was meant to eat, and now I know the reason behind it because you know I'm not a cow. I'm definitely not supposed to be drinking cow's milk. Now I know that I'm also not a cow. I'm supposed to be literally chewing all day and regurgitating because that's how they're digesting their vegetable. I'm supposed to be eating fruit like a frugivore or
So,
fruitarian.
okay, let me get this right. So, a frugivore is the species, and a fruitarian basically refers to just the diet.
The person that's eating
That's
mostly fruit. Yes.
right. Okay.
Like a
Gotcha.
vegetarian,
Right. A
technically,
vegetarian would still be considered a frugivore.
no, they don't
Or
eat most.
no, that's a herbivore.
Yeah. I guess
Okay.
vegetarian, I don't know that any animal is vegetarian that would eat another mammal's milk. I think only humans make themselves vegetarians because they don't want to hurt animals. Because
Mm-hmm.
vegan would technically not eat, because vegetarians eat no meat, but they do eat dairy and eggs. So I was just saying, I can't see a wild animal that would go up to that polar bear and be like, "Yo, can I get some milk?"
Right.
They would drink their own mother's milk, I'm guessing. So yeah, that's interesting. We could put those all together. Like,
So a vegetarian is a herbivore, a carnivore eats meat, and a frugivore eats fruit. Is that
yeah,
how that works?
eats mostly fruit, primarily fruit, but they do, some species of frugivore do also eat nuts, seeds, and like they may eat some roughage, if like to supplement.
Okay. Got it.
Like I'm trying to think of the different animals, like primates, basically, in our evolution, are the closest thing related to us, digestive system and everything, So the way that they eat, and like the fact that we're upright, so we don't have to be down on the ground eating the grass, but we're also not a giraffe that's tall enough to get our face up in a tree, They
Right.
eat that
Primate being a monkey
foliage.
or like an ape or something like that.
Yes. Yeah,
And they
exactly.
live on bananas.
Yeah, and so do I now,
Yeah, I love them.
basically, which is my big part of my diet. I love those things.
Your
Um,
grandmother would be proud of you.
I know she used to try to like chase me out of the door with bananas all the time, and I would be like, I don't want it, I don't want it, I want my Pop Tart. If only she knew. I'm so sorry she's not around when I have made these positive changes. Although she'd probably be also chasing me with a stake at the same time until she got her head around it. Like,
Right.
you need meat. Make sure she eats. I'll make sure she
You know
eats.
what I just pictured? Her carrying the pizza box like a book. Didn't you tell me she did that once?
Yes, yes, she did. It was so funny because she
She
didn't
went
eat
and picked up
dairy.
a pizza and had
No,
it
no, she
under
just
her arm
wasn't
like a
thinking.
book.
My grandmother, which I called Nan, like literally was the sweetest woman there ever like could live. She was so kind to everybody. She would have everyone over to the house, like, and always trying to feed them. She had like friends over
Sounds
to
like
have
my grandmother. I
tea.
know they
And
would have been best friends
I used
if they
to
had known
like,
each other.
they definitely would have, because your grandmother is also like very,
Always baking pies for people and cakes and making iced tea for people. And
mm-hmm.
I mean, really,
She would volunteer for the what was
Yeah,
that, like the dare program. She would take me to these Christmas parties for like underprivileged children, and would bring like a gift for me and be like, act like you're opening this from them, but she didn't want them to buy me the gift because technically I guess we weren't like rich, but we had enough to
dude, you know what?
do that.
My grandmother and I used to, it was a yearly thing, the Jerry Lewis Telethon.
Okay.
We would get in front of the TV and watch that, or she'd be cooking and we'd have it on and I'd watch it, and she would let me call in a donation, you know?
Oh, that's cool. That
Yeah, I
was,
remember
and
that.
see,
You
we
ready? You
love
want to call it in?
you love donating to this day because we're taught that. Like my grandmother being that way, and my mom, who is just so giving. Like, she will go out of her way to like make sure that you have what you need, or you
Yeah,
know what I mean, checks in on us, has just randomly will send us something because she thinks we need it, buys us,
she's
presents
amazing.
and things, and she
I
does
have
that.
the best mother-in-law. People
She
usually don't
doesn't
like their
even
mother-in-law.
know.
I love my mother-in-law.
I mean, she'll see someone on the side of the street or outside of a store that starts talking with her, and she'll have them over for dinner and stuff, and like just very, very. I think that kindness comes, and our work ethic and everything comes from what we've seen from someone. And I think your grandmother and mother and my mom and grandma, they have instilled a lot of that into us, and that's probably why we're giving all this knowledge to
I
the
gotta check in on her.
to the world.
You just made me want to text your mom.
Yeah, tell her. I didn't even get to send the links out to Meatless Monday. I was running so late. I'm sorry. Next week, if anyone is here or you're listening to the replay, Miss Mary will be on at 6 p.m. I made it a little earlier because the Minister of Wellness has 8 p.m. and she goes on there and also gives a weekly update. So I wanted to make sure she had plenty of time. I'm like, Miss Mary, you're getting popular now. We're gonna have to schedule this. But yeah, I haven't even really talked to her in person. But I've heard her on there, and she just was on today. And did a little testimonial of how things were going, and it just inspired me. Like in my heart, I was like, I want to talk to this lady. I was telling her how proud I was, and how great it's been to hear her story, and especially like it's like the universe led me to her. God was like, hey, here's another fruit healing, and I'm excited to be on this journey, and I feel really good, and I feel like I've found my place where I need to be in the plant-based world is a raw vegan like I started. Sometimes you get it right in the beginning and you sway all over the place, right?
Yeah, but
Thanks
then
for
you end up
checking in
coming
on
back
mom.
full circle. Yeah, you're welcome. I just sent a love you and my emoji with the little heart thing.
And our little sisters. We have Brooke, and Brooke is not little, but she was here I think last a couple of Tuesdays ago, and she brought us our little adopted child, little Neo, and she's a sweetheart too because she came from that same, that giving nature,
Yeah,
and
she's amazing.
she has a big heart.
I gotta say something to Brooke too.
I know, right? I just said the reason I mentioned that is because the other night I just did like a random text, like "love you both." I've got them on group text, and it's so important. Like sometimes we get caught up in life, and we have to reach out and just tell people. And I think it's partly like it's also the fruit thing. I feel like I've been even more mushy lately. And I don't know. I'm really just excited. I don't know what else to say. But I've just been learning so much, and I'm so thankful for everyone that comes on and listens. Hopefully, you've learned something. Remember, stick to it because once you get all that other stuff out of your system, you are going to start craving the good stuff. And you won't believe it right now because trust me, I ate the standard American diet for 42 years, and I would have called someone like me crazy, literally. I would have been like, that lady's crazy. That ain't for me. When you find out you can heal yourself and you can feel good and live a better quality of life, all of a sudden, simplifying your diet and eating what we're meant for becomes what should be your motivation instead of that short term taste that you're going to get. And think about how empowered you'll feel if you can do this. If you can literally change your health and your life and your diet, it's going to affect you in other ways, and you can also inspire others to have their own healing journey.
You realize we're coming up on my 1 year anniversary of being completely vegan
Oh
since
wow,
I gave up the pizza.
that's right. What do we got? It's September, right?
August.
Oh, right, August. Okay, we gotta celebrate.
I have no
Celebrate.
idea which day in August, so
That's
August 1st,
okay.
I'm celebrating
We're gonna
it.
pick a day, right? Yes, that is excellent. Wow, I'm really proud about that because that was hard. That was difficult for you, just like for me this time around. For me to give up my rice and my beans. But I've been eating sprouts, which are still giving me that, like the bean sprouts too. And not to say you can't eat ever anything. I'm just choosing not to eat
Me
cooked
too.
food.
I
Um,
could go on that pizza site and see when's the last time I ordered,
there you go.
and then just maybe give it a day or two after that, or we'll make it the next day because
Yeah.
obviously from that point, that if that was the last time I ate pizza, then we'll go to the next day and call that my first official day of being completely vegan.
And we have to do we'll do the Meatless Monday surrounding featuring you, so we can hear your journey. If you'll come on with me, can you handle all those tasks? Co-host,
I'm
lady,
not sure. I
special
can
guest.
try.
That'll be really cool. And
Yeah.
like, it's just it's such a like healing thing that you can do. It's such a cool
Holy
thing.
shit, it's been a year since I ate pizza.
Beep. Cuss
Wow,
word.
sorry.
I'm just playing. We have children watching, possibly.
Wow.
That's
That's pretty deep.
that's just now like
I
clicking
can't
with you.
believe that. Yeah, I'm like, it's just setting in that, hey, in about a month, it'll be do you realize it's been a year since you've eaten a slice of pizza? What?
Like, can you? I can't
How
sometimes
fast that
believe
went? A year?
all those years. It also sometimes
Wow.
for me for being vegan, even though it's been a little over 4 years, and sometimes it feels like, wow, I can't believe I've been vegan for over 4 years, and then sometimes it feels like I can't believe I haven't been this way forever because I'm like so bought in. I'm so like I've done so much research, and I'm so like sure
Dialed
about
in.
something that this is literally we were not meant to eat and destroy our health and destroy the planet and the animals and the environment. You know what I
Well,
mean?
I think too, when you're younger, you may know of it and know of it, but you're like, right now, I'm so young and I'm healthy. I'm gonna go ahead and eat
We're
this meat.
invincible.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna enjoy this pizza. You know what I mean? I know it's probably not good for me, but hell, it's like smoking cigarettes or smoking
Oh
some weed
yeah.
or drinking. It's like, you know what? I know it's not good for me, but I'm young. I'll be all right. I got time to make up for it. And you never know when you're gonna be called to go home. You know what I mean? So it's best to just get started whenever you can, as sooner than later. You know what I mean? With the way we're killing this planet off, it's like sooner than later. Because if we get, think about it, if we get more people being vegans and thinking in a vegan way and living a vegan lifestyle, then that's going to automatically save the animals and the planet because we're going to do things differently. That's
Hmm.
going to help prolong the life of both of those, not just human beings. So being a vegan is a lifestyle. It's not just a diet. It's an entire lifestyle. Because at that point now, you no longer want to, you no longer want to do things that are going to harm the earth either. It's like
Exactly.
I want to get some filters and stop with all this plastic crap. You know what I mean? I keep saying that, but I'm going to do it because this isn't the healthiest thing either. It's
Right.
better to distill your own water and drink it. So this has got to go, and these going into the earth, into landfills is not good either. So, don't worry. Those of you that may see this and that, well, I know, trust them, I know.
Doing the best
Um,
we can with what we can right now.
Right. I
That's
don't have
it.
a
That's all we
filtration
can do.
system right now, but I will be getting that. That is going to become a priority for me this year. You know what I mean? To do that.
That's good
Um,
advice too.
and it's going to save us money, Jen.
If
You
you
know how
can't
many
do
cases of water we buy?
if you can't do everything, at least do something to get started because you'll learn things along your journey. No one is a perfect vegan. I mean, maybe there are. If you are, comment and let me know. But comment and let me know anyway if you're watching this. What is your favorite fruit? And I'll come underneath and I'll post the health benefits of that fruit for you. But the other thing I was going to say, or tell me about your journey. Have you tried fruit? Do you want to come on and do an interview? You're right. Like there are things that I did not know in the beginning, and I've progressively, like literally, I did this for health, to your point, and I didn't know until like 6 months in. I never really made that connection of like I was eating an animal and why that's not right. An actual sentient being that has feelings and is like another is like a moving life, just like my dog or cat,
It's like
and
eating another person, basically. You're
it
eating dead
wasn't cool
flesh.
when I figured it out, and I didn't know what happened to cows. I didn't know that that was something they were impregnating them, and I didn't realize that cows weren't happy that they were just giving their milk out, that they were being over milked, and all the crazy stuff they had to
It's
put.
like taking a bite out of your own leg. You know what I
Milk
mean?
is
It's like you're eating muscle and bone of another creature. It's like,
I mean, milk is not even really white. They have to pasteurize it. It's actually like pink because of blood and stuff in it. I didn't know this. I didn't
woo.
know they were being hurt, and it was a terrible industry. I didn't know that. I never thought about what a slaughterhouse was and how we saw Bobby outside of these vigils with these pigs in the cages getting ready to go in, and that they were crying, like this stuff is not known. And once I knew, then I think it became, wow, I need to start really talking to that a little bit, as well as the health thing, because that's another reason to do it. You know what I mean? And it's like, the more you know and the more you learn, like you said, yeah, we're still using plastic, and technically that's not good for the environment, but we've also deleted meat from our diet, and we're working on getting rid of the plastic. Like, if you mess up and you accidentally buy something with meat in it, or dairy, or a meat, anything, you mess up, or a restaurant serves it to you, you can't expect sometimes for things not to happen. If you're doing the best things that you can intentionally, you know, and I know you'll set up that, system and get us, and then there might be some things we can do. I've heard there's these water bottles that, have you heard of that, Don, that will automatically
That have filters in them.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
might be able to even do that.
Or
Thank
you can
you.
just attach like a Brita filter to your faucet.
Yeah.
You
Maybe we
know,
have to do that. You've got me inspired now. I'm like, yeah, I want to do that.
because yeah, then maybe you won't feel weird about running water in a pan and boiling it and cooking your food in it. You know, when you do eat cooked food, or
I
right
don't
now
have to
you
worry about it anymore, because I was always
yeah.
feeling weird about that. Even though I was cooking it, I was like, I was pouring like the purified water from the thing into the
I'm
into
like,
the
you're
boil.
pouring our
That's
water
what
in
I
there.
mean.
It's like, why not just use it from the faucet? If you're boiling it anyway, you're getting rid of the germs.
Life is so much simpler being raw too. I was talking about that. Like, I enjoy not cooking. That way, I don't burn myself either. I don't have
And
to
it's
worry about
hot, it's
whether to use the
summertime.
microwave, and it's not right.
Yeah.
The heat, the electric we're saving. Hey, Angela, thank you for coming. Welcome. I feel
Angela, I
good.
worked out today.
Yes, she did.
I have not worked out in like forever, and I am a workouter. I love working, and I missed it so much. But something was going on with before, like I told you, with my leg and then my knee. So now I'm good to go. So I got on my total gym today, and I did some strength training, did my sit ups, got on my spinner, got 45 minutes in there. I feel good Monday through Friday, baby.
I have a question for you, Angela. When you get some time, I'll put it on your YouTube and Facebook. But I have one of those like, I was thinking, like, what do we have? Total Gym. And I've been like scared to get on it, because I'm like, I don't want to hurt myself, since I didn't have it started. And I have a stepper that has the little resistance bands on it too. And I also have those little, Dawn has those weights. And I'm like, I want to do something. I used to, like I always talk about, have this back pain. And I think what holds me back from resistance is I'm always afraid that's going to return. It's because I got rid of it. And I was saying that earlier. I think it's like a fear inside me, why keeps holding me back from the strength training, and I'd rather do cardio. But I really don't want to do a lot of cardio and lose, and I want to like mix it up. You know what I mean? I want to, like, you inspired us to want to keep our muscles and our bones and our muscles where they need to be. So I'll have to check out some of your videos, like if you have one that's like a beginner video maybe, or something. I can just get started with the lightest weight for me that'll still work. So, but Dawn is inspiring me to work out. I'm telling you, the way you looked when you came off that workout
I'm
today,
still riding it. I
how
still have the
happy
endorphins going. I
it's like.
feel so good. Well, and I'm sure that the fruit and things is backing it up. It's like now it's like a tennis match. The workout, the fruit, the word they're playing off each other. You
Yeah,
know, and
it's
I
like,
just
how good can
I
we
feel awesome.
feel? We're gonna
Yeah.
go into feel good overload.
Overdose on endorphins.
Yes, I like that. That's actually a good name for a stream. OD on endorphins. OD on the ED.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Well, is there any other questions or anything anybody else wants to say? I am just completely happy that everyone came. I'm happy our favorite workout coach, Angela, showed up. Buddha, thank you for being our moderator. And my
Best moderator on YouTube.
That's right. my co-host Dawn. Check out her channel. She'll be on live tomorrow with her J&J Video Reacts to Reality TV show on at 8 p.m. I think you've been coming on, or 8:30. Usually
8
8,
o'clock.
7:30. I keep
8
trying to get you
o'clock.
to do it earlier. And
8
then
o'clock.
8 o'clock. 8 o'clock tomorrow. I got you. And it's easier now because I don't have all that cooking to do after the stream. I can come on with you and just quickly grab my little quick plate of fruit. And then we've got Angela Frischetti. Be sure to check out her channel, JJ Video Reacts. And I know Mariquita Solis. Think I'm finally saying her name with the proper like.
Maraquita.
Uh, yes, you're good at it. You say her name from now on, right? Because you said it more authentically. Make sure you go and subscribe to her channel if you need vegan empowerment coaching. She always watches the replay because she has to work with a client on Mondays, or she may even have a live stream. I'm not sure it's this evening. And then next week, don't forget to come and join us because we have the exciting story of Mary Jones, who is a older lady who has reversed rheumatoid arthritis and is now able to get up and walk around again when she couldn't barely get out of bed. She's able to now do physical therapy and has completely changed her health, lost weight, feels really good. Has started a senior wellness group. I was talking about that Angela too, that I'll have to connect her with you if she wants to continue, to watch some workout videos. And maybe subscribe to you since you help seniors as well. So, Dawn, what do you got going on? Anything you want to talk about?
I'm good to go. I've said everything I needed to say. I'm just ready to get back working out tomorrow. I can't wait.
I can't wait to not only get started on my working out tomorrow, but I can't wait to eat tonight. I can't wait to eat my fruits and some veggies. I can't wait to eat.
Yeah, I'm still deciding on whether I just want to go with some melon and maybe a few more grapes or if I want to throw a salad in there tonight. I'm not sure. I'm supposed to just be eating fruit Monday through Friday, but I'm thinking about maybe I do want a little bit of salad. Not much, but I don't know. Haven't made up my mind yet.
Let your body speak to you. As long as you're raw and whatever it's craving, that's what I tend to do. Like people are like, "How much do you eat?" And I'm like, "I just eat until I'm full." And if I sit there for 2 hours and eat, that's what happens when you're a vegan, right? Like you don't have to worry as much. I have to worry about eating enough rather than eating too much like I had to worry about my entire life. So I love this lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Also,
I've been eating the greens like fresh like sprouts or like just spinach. She was saying if we're going to work out, adding some minerals of greens. That's why I feel like in
okay,
our
okay.
mind we've still been adding some greens. I've been doing like a salad, a bed of salad, and then putting lots of tomatoes and cucumbers in on top so that I can get that, like I still get that fruit fix kind of, but
Plus,
that's
I take 2 teaspoons daily of organic
moringa.
moringa powder, so that
Every
has a
day.
lot of minerals and
Oh yeah,
antioxidants in there as well. So yeah,
I'll have to
good
share
to
that
know.
tomorrow. The moringa too. Yes, thank you for that. I love learning. I always say this every week. I love learning from our guests here.
Me too.
It's like reciprocal. Anything I know, I say, and then um, I know Angela's always given us great advice. And Buddha, thank you for sharing your journey. And Dawn, thank you. I
You are
really
so welcome.
appreciate everyone coming.
I
Um,
enjoy being here.
Thank you. Oh, we have one more comment here. Sprouts and greens. Oh, yes. I do alfalfa and mung bean sprouts. And if you think of any others, let me know. In our 40s, women need minerals. However, careful of only getting minerals from powders. It's the fiber. Okay. Very cool. Good to know. Um, yeah,
Got it.
definitely. And I love sprouts too. I think they are really, really good. And I was thinking
But
of
here's the
combining
thing.
them too.
The powder is basically it's organic moringa leaves. So it's just leaves ground up into powder.
Oh, right, right.
Yeah, so it's not something that's processed or anything. It's organic moringa leaves that have been ground into a powder.
Yeah, moringa is like they call it like the tree of life too. So we've been taking that. That could be one of the reasons even before we were vegan we hadn't gotten like really sick or anything because it has a lot of antioxidants in it
Yeah.
and
I've been
bonds
taking
and
that
cellular.
for since 2018. So I've been drinking. No, wait a minute, not 18. What am I talking about? I've been drinking that since like 16 or 17. I
Yeah,
think
because I
maybe
started
16.
drinking it in 18, I think, because I went
Yeah, I
vegan
started
and
drinking it in 2016. So, like towards the end of 2016. So, yeah, I've been drinking that for like 7 years now, and I haven't been sick not one time in the entire 7 years since I've been drinking that.
even
That's
through COVID, we
crazy.
made it. Not
Woo!
thank you.
Even made, yeah,
We
even
made
made
it
it through
all through
Rona,
that.
Rona,
But we
Rona.
also had other precautions. We were eating right and we
Yeah.
didn't really go around anyone. We hibernated for the most part, only a couple family here and there. Um, oh, okay. She said yes. However, you might want to grind your own because it begins to get oxidated when you put it in powder form. If you grind it yourself, you can avoid degrading. Just a thought.
I want to do
Moringa
that.
powder
I need
is
to get some
incredible, she
moringa
said.
seeds and grow my own tree because I do want to do that.
Because I heard
I
you
would
can eat the
much rather
seeds
do
too.
that. Yeah, and you can use every part of that tree, the bark, the seeds, everything. But
Mm-hmm.
I actually would prefer to do that. So, you know what? Remember we were talking to Carlos on TikTok? He never did send the seeds, but you can order them. I'm going to order some seeds
That's a
and
good
try to
idea.
grow a tree because they can grow in almost any climate. They prefer the warmer climate, but they can grow in almost, and you can even grow them in the house. So
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not a
gonna,
big fan of powders. That's the only thing that we take like under than B12, and I think we have incorporated the D3 and K2 in it because we weren't. I didn't feel like I was getting enough sunlight with being in the house. However, the more we get sun, the more I can, maybe even eliminate that as I'm able to get that 15 minutes of, at least of light, which I
yeah.
learned on Chef AJ today. Someone was saying you need 15 minutes. I love, like I said, I'm like constantly watching lectures and YouTubes and documentaries and like I just love learning about the body and she said that's excellent. Moringa plant is incredible. Yeah, it really is. It
Yeah, I want to grow one. I want to grow a tree.
Yes. Well, thank you for introducing that into my life and the documentary Raw. You know what I mean? Because oh yes, Jeff Palmer. He's in the We Did It Health program and I was like when I saw him talking like last week in the vegan voices, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I felt like I was talking to like a celebrity." He has a lot of really good information. Thank you. Dawn, you do such an excellent job at this stream and putting our veggies up and getting it ready and putting the thumbnails out for all my videos. I'm really thankful for you.
You're welcome, sweetie. My pleasure. And I love to be a part of helping spread the word and helping people learn how to heal themselves naturally.
Thank you. And thank you for all the good
You're doing
advice.
amazing work. Keep it up.
Thank you. We sure will. We're getting it done, all of us, right? All of the vegans who tell our story and put things out there to help people. That is what it is. She said, "Thank you so much, Dawn. You are incredible. You both are." Oh, thank you. We
Yeah.
love hearing
Thank
it.
you.
All right, I'm gonna let us go and eat before Dawn, my producer, might starve since she worked out too. She needs that nutrients, and I'm starving because I've been working. So let's do this. I'll see everybody next Monday. Thank you so much. I am so thankful for those of you who come and join. And thank you. If you're here, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to my next level of 120 and go subscribe. Don't forget the J&J video. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so
And I'll
much.
go ahead and end it with the beautiful poem that you wrote.
Thank you. And
Have
beautiful
a good night,
pictures you
everybody.
put to it. If we can become a plant based nation, we could get off all our medication.
We want to keep doing things like we were, donating to organizations claiming to fight for a cure, but the cure is already in front of our eyes, and it's time for us to wake up and realize. We may not want to believe we have control. It's easier for most of us to metaphorically live in a hole. So many stories of how being plant-based has reversed disease. It's funny that we can't stop eating meat with ease. We want to continue to look for the answer, yet people have reversed even cancer. I think finally as a nation, it's time to give people the truthful information. Your hard-earned money is what you pay to take your medicine day after day. Sadly, there's a lot of money being made in people staying sick. This has to finally make something click. We have to have this revelation that a cure means not selling medication. There's so many myths and misconceptions, but it's eye-opening once you make the connections. That meat and dairy are causing insulin resistance, it's not sugar and carbs causing diabetes, for instance. Scientifically, our bodies are not set up like carnivores. We model those who eat plants. If you can heal, why not give it a chance? You follow your car's owner's manual for what gas it takes, yet for our bodies without care, we feed it steaks. That's like giving an unleaded car diesel to drink. Our bodies will reject it, don't you think? I'm not here to tell you what to do, but to be a voice, that when it comes to your health, you have the choice. With just a few adjustments to your diet, I can help if you just want to try it. I found testimonials that people have reversed every ailment and disease by simply eliminating meat, eggs, milk, and cheese. There's a tasty substitute for all the things you already eat. You can get all your nutrients without eating meat. Save the animals, the environment, and yourself just by making a few different selections off the grocery store shelf. It's never too late. I've seen it work at all age ranges. It's my passion, and I can't wait to hear about your positive health changes. It's time for the world to wake up and heal, and you can start with your very next meal.